The Mustangs into Blacksburg and Coach Megan Duffy, first-year head coach of the Hokies. Underway in our Play for K game. Happy you've chosen to spend a portion of your Sunday afternoon with us from Blacksburg. First shot taken by guess who, Robertson, and she knocks it down with a smooth stroke.
It's almost like you knew what you were talking about, partner.
Ends up with the first bucket of the contest. Here's a look at the starting five for Virginia Tech.
Same lineup, narrow bench, but some key contributors on the bench.
8 to work with for Virginia Tech in many ways. SMU will play with 8 or 9. We're told Cox may be back and available for the Mustangs. Among those working their way back into the lineup, here's the starting group for SMU.
Yeah, really good guards and a center that can rebound the daylights out of it, Jessica Peterson.
Yeah, you're real impressed with Peterson. She's going to be fun to watch.
She is relentless on the backboard. Anytime a player plays that hard, you got to like them.
Fresno State transfer who's from Rancho Cucamonga, California. She is quite the impressive compliment to Nya Robertson. First 4 points belong to SMU, but Baker is the first to score for the Hokies. So our premier performers have the first bucket on each side.
Right on cue, right on cue.
There's Jones, Sinai Jones, the ball handler. She is from New Jersey, like her coach, Coach Wilson, who hails from the state of New Jersey as well. Try to stop and pop, but that's right into the hands of White. Won't work out on the other end for Wenzel either, and the rebound away into the grasp of Robertson.
Coach Wilson was very concerned about Virginia Tech's transition.
Seeing an opening, Jones feeds Woods, and she can't hit the outside shot. Other thing she talked about was the three-point game today on both sides, so particularly the three-point game that Virginia Tech provides. And we saw them use that as a weapon early against Notre Dame, Coach, in that first half.
Yeah, got off to a great start, which really carried on all the way through till halftime.
Hit 3 threes right out of the chute. Had a three-point play for their first 12 points of that contest.
Well, Mishaw with a little turnaround jumper over Peterson. I think that's going to be a matchup we're going to watch.
That is the matchup to circle. Really want to highlight that one when those two get together. We'll be watching, as you said, all day long.
Point guard Jones is really good at penetrating.
Jones tried to use a little kiss off the back of the iron. It was not kind.
Penetration breaks the defense down, makes you help, opens up offensive rebounding as well as gives her a chance to have assist. Nice steal right there.
TK Pitts with the takeaway, the Oklahoma native. Down the left side, and the Tulsa native, to be specific, will go to the line for an and one chance. Here is Toyelle Wilson, fourth year, second stint as a head coach. She spent some time at Prairie View A&M before coming to SMU.
Yeah, we got a good visit with her today, and feels like her team is right there. They're just trying to get over the hump. They lost 75% of their scoring from last year. They have 3 players out for the year, and they're going into a really good basketball league in the ACC. A lot to overcome.
A couple of those were potential starters in Embry, of course, who transferred from Texas Tech, and Brow, those two still unavailable at the moment.
And there's a foul on Peterson. That's going to be big. Peterson, maybe the first one of those two to get in foul trouble, was at a big disadvantage, but right there, Peterson gets one trying to get that offensive rebound, which she does so well, among the best in the country.
Wenzel puts it on the floor, tries to work her way around the traffic, and she'll be the recipient of the foul call. And there is Megan Duffy, 9-2 here at Cassel thus far. She's 41-13 all-time in the month of February in her coaching career.
Yeah, this team was picked 12th. She's got them solidly in the top 10 with a favorable schedule coming up in February, where they play 6 teams that are below them in the standings right now.
A couple of the young coaches in the ACC going toe-to-toe on this day. She has Wenzel at the line, and with the made free throws, all even up at 6 apiece inside Cassel.
I think Coach Wilson will be happy with this start. This is one of the tougher venues to play in. They've come in and held their own here in the early minutes.
Out of bounds will stay right here on this end of the floor.
We saw it denying the ball into the post right there. 15 on the shot clock for SMU.
Thought about it from the corner, did Robertson. Tries to get a little closer and just teardrops it home.
Yeah, Lonnie White on the defense right there, but Robertson is so hard to stay in front of.
He's the first with multiple buckets on the SMU side of things. Reclaims the lead for the Mustangs. Well, Ekh wisely allows that to go out of bounds. It'll stay with Virginia Tech.
Yeah, long shots equal long rebounds, and Ekh pursued that.
There's a look at Coach Wilson again. Of course, she was an assistant on that Baylor championship in 2019, then went to Michigan as an assistant before returning to the head coaching ranks with this SMU squad. Ekh from the corner. You know what she's like from three-point land, has over 250 of them in her career. Here's the latest.
The reward for the effort on that rebound.
Held out top, Ekh there to contest. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Robertson double team, will have to give it up, just 2 to shoot now. She'll have to hurry. Just beats the horn and the possession continues.
Peterson kept that alive. There's that penetration.
Trying to slap that away was hits. Here's a look at that three just a moment ago, Coach.
Yeah, we talked about sharing the basketball. Inside out, always leads to a high percentage look. Matilda Ekh says, thank you very much.
Like they're going to say, Ekh, foot on the line there, so 2 credited. It sits at 8 apiece when all is said and done from that sequence. Wenzel weighing her options, plenty of real estate right side. She'll spin through the lane. Peterson was waiting.
A good job of the defense right there, forcing her back to her left hand and into the help. Peterson there for the block.
Ends up being a tie-up. The possession area was with Virginia Tech, so it'll stay with the Hokies.
Peterson with 9 double-doubles on the season, second in the ACC.
Now, she had 20 rebounds in her performance against Miami last weekend. So watch her on the interior. You got to watch Baker everywhere. She has another basket for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Mackie Nelson was watching her after she penetrated, created help, got the ball to Baker for the little 10-footer.
Nelson freshly into the contest, already making a difference for the Hokies. Jones had no lane. Pinballs around until it ends up in her grasp. What a drive to the basket for Jones.
Again, when you have 2 guards that can penetrate, you can create a lot of offense, and SMU does that.
Tonight, Jones averages 8.5, but a little better than that in ACC play at 9.6. How about a quick answer?
Yeah, Matilda Ekh, you've got to run at her. She's a shooter, but that enables her to go by you.
There's Jones again. She's a transfer from Villanova, the grad student I mentioned. Averages right at 10 in conference play for SMU.
But had 20 against Notre Dame on Thursday.
Yes, she did.
Earlier in the season, I'm sorry. Louisville was Thursday.
Tied her career high, though, with that game against Notre Dame that you're talking about. A little bit out of control on this pass, and it'll be out of bounds. Taking us to break. A 12-10 start. These two separated by a single basket on a big win afternoon inside Cassel.
NC State, Notre Dame, a lot of people would lose those back-to-back, but it's important that both of these clubs right the ship.
NC State, Notre Dame will do that to a lot of people, you're right, but that's why we build this as a potential big win Sunday in the ACC for these two teams, both wanting a taste of being back in the win column. And an important ACC victory as you close in on the stretch run on the line. Peterson cleans that up inside, couldn't finish on the putback. Stays right here.
SMU out of the timeout ran an ISO for Robertson. Had all 4 people on the other side of the floor. She beat her man one-on-one, but couldn't finish it. Good defense by Virginia Tech right there, just one-on-one.
Working around down low was Peterson, a little too strong.
Good job defensively by Mishaw, putting a body on her right there. Made her go a little bit wider than she wanted to.
Foul on Jones.
Jones got in a bad position down low. Mishaw had the advantage going to the free throw line where she's honestly struggled a little bit. Shooting the ball great from the floor, best in the league, but still struggling a little bit from the free throw line.
First whistle obviously on Jones. Little conversation, by the way, haven't introduced our officials in this one. You saw Deke Cantner there having a conversation with Mishaw. It's Cantner, Ashley Good, and Jeff Wooten, our 3 officials in this contest today. You noticed that right away.
Good veteran crew, yeah. Deke Cantner, one of the best of all time.
Sandra Magolico, a senior forward into the contest, a native of Mozambique into the game for SMU at last substitution. And it's Mustangs basketball at the 3:12 mark. Quick feed. Woods will have to send it back outside. Way up top, that was to Hall, who's also freshly into the contest. And an extra step. Hall's going to be assessed the travel and a turnover.
Good defensive possession. Virginia Tech sealed off the inside, then closed out, then handled a couple skip passes, forcing the turnover by SMU.
22 points in the opening period. Now inside 3 minutes remaining. Well, why not? She decided it was a good time to just shoot it.
Nice share in the basketball. Good job being under control.
Out of bounds to Virginia Tech. You know, after a 4 of 8 start, SMU now 5 of 15 from the field, Coach.
Yeah, and back-to-back turnovers, their first 2 turnovers of the game.
Hokies have started 6 of 10. That math is easy, right? 60% start from the floor. Not bad for a team up 4 with the basketball.
Even with your limited math skills, that was good.
And they are very limited. 15 to shoot. Elsa looking for a little help. She'll find it. Here's Ekh from 3-point land again.
Again, ball inside, quick reversal. Defense can't recover in time, and Ekh makes them pay.
She's perfect on her first 3, and that's the first one on which she's awarded all 3. Remember, her foot was on the line on the earlier distance shot. Boy, nice touch from Hall there, the Plano native.
Yeah, she's really good with that right-hand driver.
Answer on the other end. Give Ekh a couple from downtown in a row.
Coach Wilson has seen enough. She talked about her fear of the 3-point line in Virginia Tech. Unfortunately, comes back to haunt her.
You know, Matilda Ekh was 1 point shy of 100 in the month of January. She's off to a good start in February as she takes care of business here for Virginia Tech.
Checking in for your Hokies, number 34, Carleigh Peterson.
Welcome back to Blacksburg 2012. You saw Matilda Ekh. She's a big part of the reason why Virginia Tech has created some separation. Back-to-back possessions in which she has hit 3s.
Yeah, and did it the classic way, inside out and then in transition.
Speaking of transition, here's a chance for the Hokies, though it's going to be slowed up a bit. Ekh will try it one more time. This time contested. Same result.
He checked positive.
You know, that 99-point January was the best month of her Virginia Tech career. She had 1 month better at Michigan State, 102 points scored, but she's off to a solid start in February. 3 on the other end won't go. Saved in by Karis Baker.
Yeah,
Seconds
SMU went
remaining.
a long time without turning the ball over. Now it's had 3 in the last 4 possessions.
Ekh inside to clean that up. Nelson's wide open. Can't make it count, won't connect. And it'll be SMU basketball. Matilda Ekh on fire of late.
Yeah, and transition is a place before the defense gets set. Spot up, she anticipated it and knocked it down.
December of 2022 at Michigan State, had quite a month. We just talked about the month she's coming off of here, and boy, has she been the catalyst with 13 already and a perfect 3 for 3 from beyond the arc.
The difference in the game, Matilda Ekh. And remember, it started with her hustling and getting a rebound on the offensive end.
You're right, Coach. Just a second or so separation between the game clock and the shot clock for SMU. Boy, that's somehow almost found pay dirt for Peterson of all things. Shot clock now off, of course. And winding through, Pitts draws the contact.
Attacking the rim, that's a good thing to do with that shot clock running down. Not a lot of free throws in this game. SMU going to the line for just a second time.
Told they're going to reset the game clock to 3.9 with Pitts at the line. Pitts, the junior out of Tulsa. She averages just over 5 points per contest and just dropped in her third of this one. Had a bucket earlier.
She's a really versatile player. Can play literally 1 through 4. Has nice guard skills. Not a great three-point shooter.
It's 1 of 2. Plenty of time. And a whistle as Jones was passing by at the horn. Boy, that's a tough foul for SMU and an opportunity for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, you just can't foul in that situation. Nelson's trying to get a shot up, a little bit of desperation. Fowler right at the buzzer, probably going to look at that to make sure it was on time. And that will be Jones' second foul. That's a big problem for SMU.
Second foul in literally the closing
The last play
second
is under review to make sure
of the first half. Here's another look at it.
before the end of the period.
Good job by Nelson recognizing it. And certainly the foul that they called occurred before the buzzer.
Now that on the final sequence of the first quarter, rather. And it's going to mean a chance for Virginia Tech to add to what is a 23-13 advantage if everything holds steady.
Sure looked like it happened, but it is bang, bang.
I'm with you. An initial glance.
After review, the foul does occur before the end of the period. 0.5 will be placed on the clock.
Well, you heard that. Half a second remaining.
It's a great look at it. There's the contact. Got to fix the clock here.
Going to put it at 0.5. Boy, will be interesting to see how large this looms long term. A chance for a couple of points with everything halted when it looked like the quarter was over.
Momentum certainly in Virginia Tech's corner right now, and Jones.
As you said, Jones picking up what was a second there at the very end of things as she collided with Nelson. First one rolls in. So after the Hokies hit 6 of their final 8 shots in the quarter, held SMU to 1 of their last 7 in the quarter. They knocked down a couple of free throws to extend the lead. Well, she and Baker with 4 apiece. They're the next closest to the 13 poured in by Ekh so far. Robertson high off the glass. There's Peterson with the putback. Take a snapshot of that because it is the bread and butter for SMU.
Yeah, it's really important if they're going to get back in it. She's going to have to be involved, and she can really rebound on the offensive end. 103 on the season coming into today. Obviously number 1 in the ACC.
Now Peterson, she had the answer for SMU there, but Virginia Tech each time has responded.
Yeah, Lonnie White that time, she was the one who contested. Robertson shot on the other end and then gets the 3 on the offensive end for Virginia Tech.
Talk about the 3. She was 11 of 26, shot 46% personally from beyond the arc in the month of January. This is just off the left side, but gathered up by the Mustangs. Marshall stands in there. She'll step up and fire a three. And this call is going to be on the floor.
Yeah, Peterson involved in the rebound right there. Looked like Mishaw.
Virginia Tech foul on number 4, Rose Mishaw. That is her first
It is going to be the first personal on Rose Mishaw.
Yeah, that was the bucket before.
And that's what Peterson, who's closing in on 500 boards, one of those milestone watches, can really provide for SMU. She's battling it out with Mishaw for the basketball here. Peterson, who, as we said, is a California native, Fresno State transferred. She comes in as the top rebounder in the ACC, 4th overall in the country.
Yeah, had 21 rebounds in a single game earlier in the year against UT Arlington.
Coach, she has twice had 20-plus rebounds. You throw the Miami game in there as well? Twice. And that's both of those marks good for top 10 rebounding contest in school history. So she's a force inside. Had a scary moment, by the way. Peterson, good to see her out there, no worse for the wear at Moody in Dallas as a part of that Louisville contest. You know what was interesting about that game they just played at Moody? No fouls called in the first quarter on either side.
I kind of like that.
How often do you see that?
I like it.
Not a lot.
You don't see it very often.
Good side. Good first quarter for Virginia Tech here, as they have built an advantage over SMU. Looking to get back in the win column, both these teams. A little too strong for the Hokies.
And Peterson
And
again
Peterson,
with the rebound.
Yep. That's Cassel Peterson, the Wisconsin native, who averages right around 15 minutes and a couple of buckets each time for the Hokies. Peterson trying to work on Peterson there, and it will be a Virginia Tech rebound. Looking ahead, trying for Mishaw, but it was read by Pitts.
So versatile. Ran the floor that time, had her head up.
Nearly coast to coast. What a pass from Robertson, but Peterson has it rejected.
Wenzel.
Carleigh Wenzel adding to her game. Taken away by Pitts again. Rolls out, but she will go to the line after Pitts was fouled.
It's a wild sequence back and forth. Carleigh Wenzel has a knack for blocking shots. Good length. Good job of not making contact, but getting the all ball.
Number 4, Cassel Woods. For your Hokies,
Important,
number 3, Mackie
as we learned the other night,
Harris
keeping
Baker,
Wenzel
center line, shooting
on the
2.
floor. She's such a key part of what the Hokies have been able to do this season. Gets to the line, as you saw a moment between Cassel Peterson and her head coach. This is going to go down for TK Pitts. Pitts 1 of 2 from the floor, and she's now 2 of 4 from the free throw line. Make it 2 of 5. Follows her own shot, though, and finishes it.
Hey, if you can't make the shot, go get the rebound. Love that for TK Pitts right there. Very impressive play.
Makes her the leading scorer for SMU on a hustle play. What did Coach Wilson tell us? She said, I'm constantly preaching to my team how important it is to do the extra things, the things that maybe don't require talent, where you simply outwork your opponent. And there's a snapshot of it.
She's very pleased with the effort of this team.
Marshall is going to be waved off as the foul was up top. Let's go back to that last play from Pitts.
Yeah, on the free throw line, somebody is designated. Ekh puts a body on her but doesn't finish the play. Pitts with really good hustle right there.
Toyelle Wilson making it clear, I want my team to win the things that are beyond talent. There's talent there, but she believes that type of basketball, winning the loose balls, scrambling for those second opportunities and those third chances. And she, who was quite a player in her own right, barking out communications to her team here.
Yeah, SMU playing without their point guard. Pitts, talk to you about their versatility. She's playing now. She can play the 4, but right now she's playing point guard for him at 6'1".
Works it into Pitts as the ball handler. You're right, Coach. Trying to work over size disadvantage, but it won't work out that time for Robertson.
Robertson now 2 for 10 on the game.
Remember, she started with a basket, started the scoring with a basket, hasn't had more than just a single basket since. Mishaw Plenty of contact as she goes to the deck, and let's see who this is going to be on. That's going to be 2 on Peterson now as she picks up the foul.
Just a rebound, the backside. Physical play, both going up. And now Peterson and Jones, 2 of their 3 best players, going to have to be on the bench with 2 fouls.
Boy, and Peterson's presence in the interior so critical for SMU today. Nice stroke as Mishaw runs it back to 10.
Hokies scored on that. Mishaw recognized the opening against the baseline out of bounds defense.
Well, and not only that, but Peterson out of the contest after the foul picked up. Then you see Mishaw providing the scoring there. It's that matchup we were going to watch. We'll see how Virginia Tech utilizes it. Here's an answer. Quiets them for a moment as Woods connects.
Yeah, it's a big 4, stretch 4, can step out and shoot that ball.
Senior, she transferred over from Xavier as a native of Lincoln, Nebraska. Matches her per game average right there. That one's shot. Here's the premier performer from three-point land. Well, check that Peterson from the corner there. It rims off. And now we get an inbound for SMU. Well, cooling off a little bit, Virginia Tech. 11 of 20. That's just 55%.
Yeah, SMU doing a little bit better job on the defensive end. Of course, they've got some people in foul trouble, got some people out of position. TK Pitts playing the point guard, and Magoliko in its center for Peterson.
That was somewhat tongue-in-cheek after they shot 60% in that first period, of course. Virginia Tech shooting the lights out to build the early advantage. This is going to rim off. Boy, that's a tough collision. As hard to the deck. And you heard the building react.
Virginia Tech foul number 3, Mackie Nelson.
Magoliko went up for that rebound, got undercut a little bit. Went down hard.
Boy, this
Here
is
you
tough as it gets.
Box out right there, just incidental. Mackie Nelson backing up right there, trying to box out. Magoliko not in the bonus yet. He's not a great free throw shooter, 5 for 14 on the year, but Virginia Tech's 4th foul. Next one will put SMU in the bonus.
Good to see her pop back up. That was heard over everything else in-house when the Arizona State transfer and senior from Mozambique hit the deck. Layla Wells comes into the contest. You heard the horn. Happens at the 5-minute mark, second period. Kylie Marshall, one of the Texans on this roster, the Mansfield, Texas native. Just 2 to shoot. From the corner, Woods will, but it rims out.
Good defensive possession by Virginia Tech. Trying to stretch that lead back out.
Oh, in contrast, Coach, 10 of 31, 32% shooting for SMU in this half.
And Robertson 2 for 11 now.
Yeah. Well, that timeout will send us to break as well. Much more to come from Blacksburg when you return.
Fans, please welcome to the board the Virginia Tech Hokies.
K game, a special emphasis that, as Coach told you, transcends basketball on this Sunday in Blacksburg. Back to the action where Virginia Tech leads by 7 midway through this first half. And Robertson with a head of steam. That'll be lost out. It stays on this end. Your impressions of this one so far?
Well, SMU's stars have struggled. Jones, Robertson, and Peterson have combined for 4 of 21, and 2 of them are on the bench right now with 2 fouls.
10 of 32 from the floor when you talk about the SMU first half to this juncture. You mentioned Robertson, who has 408 field goals, attempt-wise that is, which leads the country. She's taken some shots. Hasn't been able to get them to fall so far in this one. So you said it, surrounding cast to step up. TK Pitts does here with the bucket.
Yeah, and she's really doing a good job. That time realized the shot clock was running down. She's not a great long distance shooter. Attacked the rim and got the ball in the basket, cutting that lead to 5.
Well, you know, Virginia Tech ran off, looked like they were going to hide there for a little bit late first period.
Sure did.
Just a couple of possessions now.
SMU's played a little better defensively. This time they're in a 2-3 zone.
Droughts at just over a couple of minutes for the Hokies, who were scoring at will at one point. When they were scoring at will, Ekh was right in the thick of it. She returns to prominence.
Penetrated, broke the zone down, kicked it back out. Couldn't get there in time again. Ekh with the three.
She was perfect. That's hard to maintain. She's still 4 of 5 from three-point land, 6 of 7 overall. Give her 16 to this point. And here's another long rebound that Ekh corrals.
Yeah, those long rebounds, you got to track them down. Long shots equal long rebounds. Virginia Tech equal to the task.
Good movement inside to Mishaw, and she is true.
She did her work early right there. Posted up deep. All she had to do was turn around and put it on the backboard.
24 combined between Ekh and Mishaw to this point. They pace the Hokies. What a shot on the other end to use the glass.
We know she could get going. Scored 17 straight points in the fourth quarter the other night against Louisville.
17 in the fourth.
19 in the fourth, 17 straight.
Part of a career high 32. 8 of 16, 13 of 13 perfect from the free throw line. It was quite a night all the way around. She gets some help here from TK Pitts again. How about the compliment Pitts has been of late?
She really could. Had to play point guard and doing it well.
2 and change to go. There's still a couple of possessions separating these teams. Mishaw working down, and soft touch is enough.
Took her time. No Peterson to shoot over. Really nice job by Mishaw.
Different game when Peterson's not there to contest. Mishaw, who's had such a strong season, showing her value. Staying behind the three-point line, and that's huge for Woods. Woods drains one home.
Robertson with the penetration on the baseline, kicks it back out. Woods wide open.
Gets it back to 5 with under 90 seconds to play in the half. Foul out top.
Breaking the Cardinal rule. Don't foul the jump shooter.
It's going to be on Woods. I believe you've said that once or twice.
Yeah. Maybe every game, maybe.
Gotta make a mental note of that
Every
one.
game, baby. Interestingly enough, Peterson coming back with 1:18 to go. I don't know if they'll do offense, defense.
She's joined by Jones.
Jones back in also, yeah.
Ekh is going to depart, and Peterson for Virginia Tech also into the game. So Wells departs, and Lonnie White is just beyond the top of the key at the Virginia Tech logo now. Wenzel, front of the iron.
Hokies have played without Baker here during this stretch too. On the bench with 2 fouls.
Baker had 4 points, 2 of 2 from the floor before, as you said, spending some extended time over there. Second good for Wenzel. Back to 6. Jones just back into the game now. Minute and change remaining in the half. Open look, but Peterson was a little strong. Big rebound for Woods. Asia Woods has had her moments in this second period. Keeps this possession alive for the Mustangs. Two to shoot. Will they get it up? Will not. Running out of time, a shot clock violation forced by Virginia Tech.
Good patience and effort that time. Anytime you can get them all the way to a shot clock violation, you've done a good job of defending each of those individual 5 matchups.
Kenzie Nelson. Pitts tried to jump the pass, does swat it out of bounds with 30 seconds to play.
12 plus seconds difference between the shot clock and the game clock.
Kel Peterson. Now 7 to shoot. Mishaw. Nelson's going to have to hurry. That's using the full extent of the possession for the Hokies.
Little floater right there by Nelson coming off the bench. Always seems to make a big play.
Stretches it back to 8. Jones tries to take a bite out of it just ahead of the horn. It was not to be. A 32, halftime lead for Virginia Tech.
Yeah, impressive right but this one is just staying competitive enough to keep SMU hanging around. And they come up with a foul on the first play.
Separation of 8 as SMU was trying to come up with the takeaway. This is going to be a foul called on Woods.
And neither team got to the free throw line very much.
That's a third personal on Kezia Woods to open the half. Tracked down by Jones. She stops and pops, but it rims out. Boy, willing it away is Pitts.
Pitts has just played really well.
Went to the left hand there and then gives it up to Robertson. Inside to Peterson. Didn't work out for that combo on this trip down the floor, but Coach, that's the combo SMU is going to need.
Sure is. They're going to throw it in there a lot. Rose Michaud did a nice job that time. Peterson missed the little jump shot.
Baker's first look of the half, just a bit off target.
Baker missed some time. She was the one Hokie who did pick up 2 fouls in that first half.
He's playing with 2. You got 4 Hokies that picked up just a single foul. When you look at the overall landscape. Just over a minute into this second half.
Robertson now 3 for 14 on the game.
Still steady, and again, that's Robertson who has more field goal attempts than anybody in the country, coming off that career high 32 points against Louisville. Has not been able to follow that up just yet here on the road in Blacksburg.
Lonnie White a little gimpy and turned it over that time.
Hokies defending her well. Yeah, you're right, Coach. And she still is a little slow in her movements out at the top of the key. She's got to come out and cover Jones here. Just 5 to work with on the shot clock. Jones feeds it through, and Peterson right where she needed to be.
Yeah, Lonnie White couldn't stay in front of her right there. Something bothering her. You see her limping down the floor.
Yeah, she is very slow. So slow it grabbed the attention of Dee Cantner, who stopped everything to allow Virginia Tech's training staff to give White a look.
Yeah, she had gone up and down the floor a couple times in pain. See what we can find out.
See if this gives us a look.
Yeah, right there, just kind of an awkward leg kick.
Takes a spot down on the very left of your screen at the end of the bench. Baker tries to work around traffic, and Peterson wanted to sell it. She was hands up, but that's going to be a tough foul call for SMU.
Yeah, it really is. Baker attacked her off the dribble, which is a smart play. But Peterson with the 3rd foul. We'll see what Coach Wilson does. Does she leave her in there and trust her? Or does she need to bring her out and give her some time?
Sorry, Coach. Woods with 3, and now you said it, Peterson with 3. Much more consequential when you consider how important she is in the interior. Baker makes him count.
I think down by 8, they're going to choose to leave Peterson in there and trust her as a veteran player not to pick up that extra foul.
Try to feed her inside, but Michaud with plenty of energy swats it away.
Good job fronting right there by Michaud, and a nice pull-up under control by Carleigh Wenzel in transition. Lead gets out, back out to 10.
Wenzel with her first field goal of the contest. Prior 3 points coming from the charity stripe.
Jones still struggling, 1 for 6 now from the floor. Did a nice job there getting some separation, getting an open 15-footer.
Story of this team shooting-wise, and you know, Coach Joe Wilson talking with us about shot selection prior to the contest as well.
Yeah, and they have struggled percentage-wise on the season.
It's a team that, as a unit, shoots 37.9% on the year. They're shooting 34% from the field so far in this one.
Yeah, and terrible from 3. Last in the league in 3 at 28.9%. Only averaged 66 points a game. That's 16th in the ACC.
This is a team that, though they're on a bit of a skid here, 6 games to be specific, they've been right there in the thick of so many of them, Trying to battle it out here, but seeing the deficit at 10 with 6.5 to play in the third. Baker trying to see it grow. Won't happen on this shot, but Mishaw battles underneath.
Nice job knocking that ball away.
A collision from Nelson ends up sending Robertson to the deck.
Second personal foul. First,
A couple of fouls apiece here, but been 2 big fouls for SMU on Woods and Peterson.
That's just the second one that Nelson has been assessed today. As you see Woods take a seat once more. Robertson, a little kiss off the glass this time that works.
A shooter keeps on shooting. Got to have a short-term memory. Don't worry about that last shot. Make the next one.
This particular shooter doing so more than anyone in the country. We said it, her field goal attempts leading the land. And, you know, Coach, worth revisiting for those who maybe weren't with us early on, that she's right there among the top guards in the ACC, and that's saying something.
Number 3 in scoring behind Latson and Hidalgo. That's pretty good company.
Rare air. They get her jump started. That's a difference maker on this day. Peterson fighting to get into open real estate. Let's go back to Robertson most recently here.
Yeah, and she will do a lot of different things. Penetrate. She's got a good mid-range game. She can make the threes, but that's where she's really dangerous, being creative off the dribble.
And it's worth underscoring, tuck it away in the back of your mind, she had 19 points in the fourth quarter last time out. Getting a little help here as that is finished off by Hall.
Yeah, nice up and under move. And another good defensive stop for SMU.
Hall providing a compliment. Here's Pitts now, and that's going to be a blocking foul. Assessed Ekh.
I can't talk enough about TK Pitts playing a really good game. She is not one of the leagues. She averages 5 points, 5 rebounds, but she is making things happen offensively where Peterson and Robertson have been struggling. And Jones, I can add her to the struggles.
And even the attack here, as it is going to place a second personal in Ekh's account. And he whistled that was welcomed by the fans here at Cassel Coliseum, to say the least.
They were on it ahead of time, right? A little double team out there, and Robertson picks up one.
Now, this is a team, grabs your attention, they're still shooting 57% from the floor. 45.8, that's third best in the ACC when you talk about shooting overall for the Hokies, and improving upon that so far here today. You know, another area where they're third best in the ACC, and that's attendance, another very good crowd. And they'll celebrate the latest of X threes.
Said, I got that foul on the other end, I'll make up for it. Another 3 from Matilda Ekh.
The nice Sunday crowd greets her as she extends the Virginia Tech lead.
Yeah, this has gotten to be a regular crowd for Virginia Tech. 5, 6, 7,000 people.
SMU Mustangs. We have an official timeout on the floor.
304 consecutive games in which Virginia Tech has hit a three-pointer.
The Michigan State transfer. You can't short close out on her. She will make you pay. In front of and behind the scenes, and we are better for it.
Thanks to our crew, one of the best in the business, all working hard for you on this day in Blacksburg. Well, not just a special day because of so many of the emphasis that we've walked you through, also because there's an ACC victory potentially on the line that would snap a modest 2-game departure, which is rare for this team in recent history on the Virginia Tech side, and an SMU team looking to snap a 6-game skid. So, you know, as we begin to close in on the middle stages and the latter stages of the third quarter, it's worth reminding everybody just how important today is for these two teams.
Yeah, but both of them trying to get as high as they can in the standings for the ACC tournament, get positioned for that. Coach Duffy's team has not lost 2 in a row all year until these last 2. And again, we mentioned Notre Dame and NC State will beat a lot of people back-to-back. But it's important for both these teams to try to get on the right track here this afternoon.
Those two a combined 18-1 in league play, by the way. When you want to talk about what they've been able to do in the ACC this year, that gauntlet of NC State and Notre Dame back-to-back. Shot clock winding down. This rims off. Ekh has the rebound and the putback.
And again, that offensive rebound, don't have to have many of them to make a big difference. Matilda Ekh doing a little bit of everything here this afternoon for Coach Duffy.
She is shining on a day like this. 21 points already on the score sheet for Ekh, who is 8 of 10 from the field, 5 of 6 from beyond the arc. You talked about the way Virginia Tech has continued to bounce back, and it speaks to the strength of this program, Coach, that you got to go all the way back to 2021, the last time they were 3 that ended up on the wrong side of the win column. That's how much this program has bounced back. And you heard her at the half talking about how pleased she was with the way her team did just that out of the gate in this one.
Yeah, and talked about defense, and in particular defensive rebounding. They've only given up 1 offensive rebound in the first 7 minutes of the second half.
Wow, now there's a stat to hang your hat on. It translates into a 49-38 victory, or lead, I should say, as they look for that victory that would snap that deal. And this is gonna go down. Another one coming on the backside of it is our player to watch coming in. Karis Baker makes her presence known.
Yeah, she hadn't had a lot of minutes today, but she got fouled on the post-up initially, and then she played through the contact. That's something you did not see her do a year ago. She keeps getting better at everything.
Well, just as we start discussing how important the win would be today on both sides, you have Ekh remind everyone what she's been today. You have Baker remind everyone what she's been of late. And Virginia Tech has stretched it out to 52-38.
Robertson has to get going for SMU.
Marshall can't get it to go from downtown. Hall tried to step up and disrupt. Baker, after putting it on the floor, kicked to Nelson. Still 12 to work with on the shot clock. Eshaw, nice touch.
Good patience by the Hokies, side to side, took it from the right wing to the left wing, drove it in, and reversed it again and got a nice little 10-footer by Rose Meshaw.
How about those 3 with consecutive contributions? Ekh, followed by Baker, followed by Meshaw, who has 12, but here's an SMU answer. And a timeout immediately following.
Timeout Mustangs. We have an official timeout on the
1:48 to
floor.
play in the third on a critical Sunday in the ACC.
Team in the college football playoff. Andy Enfield on the men's side, Coach Wilson here on the women's side of basketball. They're going to bring a lot to the table.
49th year of women's basketball on the hilltop. Baker with another bucket. You know, Coach, you think about Dallas, the best of memories for this Virginia Tech program happening right there in Dallas. The Final Four run in the not-too-distant past.
Yep,
you were there.
Lucky enough to be with Evan Hughes on the radio call in the semifinals where the Hokies just came within minutes of being in the championship game.
So Dallas will always hold a special place in the hearts of Hokies fans. Boy, that's high off the bank, and it works out.
Yeah, she's had threes back-to-back, but they've got to start getting stops on the other end.
Tie-up, possession arrow is going to send it right back where it was. Here's another glance.
Nya Robertson doesn't need much space, but that time she did need the glass.
She has, workmanlike effort-wise, worked her way back to 14.
6 for 18 from the floor, 2 for 4 from long range. But
a couple of assists and
8
a rebound, and 8 of those points coming in this half.
And we talked about what she did against Louisville the other night. They were 14 down and came all the way back to even.
Well, and it's a reminder of, yes, you look at this team and the streak is at 6 in the direction that you don't want it, but SMU is a team that a number of times in that sequence could have come out on top, and Louisville, another reminder of that with the way they played at Moody not that long ago.
Nice job right there of the penetration. And that's another thing. Robertson she can score, but she also sets up some scoring. She had 3 30-point games this year.
Foul down on the baseline.
And that'll put them in the bonus.
See if we can get another glance at this as well.
A little shot fake. Got the defender in the air. You always want to be the second player off the floor, not the first.
Always want to be the second player off the floor.
Write that down.
That's a good one to tuck away. Another of the many nuggets you find on a Mac McCarthy broadcast for sure. Robertson to the line. Your thoughts on Robertson overall, not just what you've seen from her here today, but the spark plug she can be for this SMU squad.
Yeah, I mean, in this league with all the great guards and all the great scorers, if you're third in scoring, you're a special player. And yeah, she doesn't have great percentages, but she has to do a lot for this team. She has to carry the scoring load, and she plays 35 minutes a game. She doesn't come out of the game. That's third in the ACC also.
Well, she knocks down both of her free throws in this contest. Remember, she was a perfect 13 of 13 from the line. That's the second most without a miss in school history as part of that 32-point performance against Louisville. So still true from the charity stripe of late.
SMU picking up full court now. Get a little more pressure. Karis Baker, we showed you some highlights in the open. That time playing off the dribble with that left hand, reaching around off the glass.
Some underneath touch from Baker. She's one of 3 in double figures for the Hokies. Ekh with 21, Baker with 13, Misha with 12. Robertson tried to salvage the possession. It was not to be, and that will run us to the end of as we head into the fourth. 21 for Ekh, 13 for Baker, 12 for Misha, and winning that battle so critical to today's success. It means a 58-46 lead that just became 60-46 on a true stroke from Wenzel.
Carleigh Wenzel says, I want to join that group in double figures. She's got 7 now.
Here's Robertson, an explosive fourth quarter against Louisville. We'll see what she can do on the road. Try to help her team claw back in things. Gathered up by Nelson, but she stepped on the line, and it'll be SMU's ball.
Yeah, Jones has just not gotten going. 1 for 7 now from the floor. Spent a lot of time on the bench in the first half, but a really nice pass. Here's the errant pass, and just on the sideline, Mackie Nelson tried to save it.
Mackie Nelson, 4 points today. Also worth noting, has dished out 7 assists along the way for Virginia Tech in this one.
Just has a knack, not a lot on the stat sheet, but always has a knack of taking the big charge, making the nice pass.
You know, the other thing you notice when you look at the stat sheet, Coach, this team, the Hokies as a unit, still shooting up over 60% from the field through 3 quarters. Impressive.
Again, good defense right there. Forcing Peterson to miss the little 2-footer.
Now that's going to be a whistle on Pitts. Pitts picking up just her second personal there.
Her second personal foul. First team foul of the quarter.
Going to be an inbound for the Hokies.
This is kind of where they were the other night, SMU, against Louisville. They made the tremendous comeback led by Robertson. It'll be tough here. That was at home. This is on the road at a tough place to play.
Saw the head coach, Toyelle Wilson, looking on there, hoping for that type of response from her team.
Good patience offensively. You see the Hokies work the shot clock all the way down to 4 before getting a shot up and getting fouled. Karis Baker going to the free throw line.
That's a 4th personal on Jones, as Baker earned a trip to the free throw line.
Baker with 13.7 rebounds. Could she possibly have her 3rd double-double? Back-to-back, possibly, in the ACC.
Yeah, fresh off that first one in ACC play the last time out. Of course, leads the team in minutes, 2nd in rebounding, 3rd in scoring. You know, I talked about the nearly 100 points Ekh had in January. She had 122 to lead the team. That's how solid she's been of late. Boy, here's another major possession for SMU as they land the three. Trying to hang around there at the 8.5-minute mark. Rebound into the hands of Jones. Looking up floor. Opts to give it to Robertson. Can she bring this group to life? What a pass. That's front of the iron as Pitts was cutting through. Images of things passed for Robertson.
Come down, soft closeout. She's got deep range. You can't expect just because she's 5 or 6 feet beyond the arc, she's still going to pull it.
We keep talking about those 19 points in the fourth quarter. And Mooney, the last time out against Louisville. Here's a start, a bit of a spark. And Pitts, who has been so key for this team today, goes to the line and drains one from there. All of a sudden, a second free throw coming for Pitts that would make it a 10-point game. True.
Robertson with 13 now in the second half. Got the assist that time to Pitts.
What can you say about Pitts? Now has 12. 4 of those coming from the charity stripe.
Yeah, Pitts has had a really solid game. 4 steals, 12 points, 3 rebounds.
SMU not in this spot without the work of Pitts today. 5 to shoot. Eshaw working with just one shoe. Won't matter. The shot's going to come from outside, and Wenzel is on target.
And she joins the double-figure crew. Did we talk about trying to have multiple people in double figures and sharing the basketball? Wenzel, you go with the little switch right there. She created some space.
He's 4 in double digits, as Coach told you. Wenzel 10, Eshaw 12. 14 for Baker, Ekh with 21. Visions of that Georgia Tech game, one of the high water marks for this team this year when all the starters had 17 or more in a rare moment for the Hokies. But boy, 1-3 deserves another, and SMU is refusing to go away. This has been the fight that Coach Wilson's team has shown throughout the year.
Really pleased with the effort, and that says a lot.
Wenzel gathered up and handed to Ekh, and Peterson trying to come down with it. It's going to be SMU basketball as Hokies had Kel Peterson underneath, trying to somehow keep the pace with Jessica Peterson, who gets the whistle here. And Kel Peterson departs.
10-point game, 7 minutes to go. Got to continue to do a good job if you're Virginia Tech on Nya Robertson.
Robertson, fourth quarter, her time of late. She goes right down the lane. The rebound into the hands of Baker.
I think she was surprised how open she was when she got there. Missed that one badly.
But if that goes down, you're talking single digits. And there's something that always happens when you can get it to singles.
Robertson now 7 for 21 from the floor.
Yeah, you said it. 19 points, but just a third of her shots going down. Timeout in Blacksburg. These two teams as they now share the Atlantic Coast Conference. Fourth quarter, things all but anything but settled here with 6:35 to go. A lot of basketball left, Coach.
Looked like a turnover, but a foul in the post right there on SMU. Hokies maintained the ball with a fresh 20 on the shot clock.
Well, and not just a foul, that one went on Peterson, and that is number 4 on Peterson. So very consequential, that sequence, as we work back into action at the 6.5-minute mark. 4 on Peterson, 4 on Jones for SMU.
Hokies fine, working deep into the shot clock here.
That one's going to be whistled on Pitts as there was plenty of contact.
The drive right here.
That's on number 2, TK Pitts.
Block charge continues to be the toughest foul to call one way or the other.
Ends up being a third personal on Pitts. But again, Jones 4, Peterson 4. Worth noting with a lot of time left. Well, and it speaks to the value of Peterson. She stays in there, but Coach, you see in a moment like that how limited she is underneath.
Yeah, she couldn't contest that. Baker made that play, breaking the double team and getting it to Wenzel on the baseline for a little reverse layup.
Wenzel, we told you a bit ago, one of 4 in double figures for the Hokies, who have spread it around nicely today. They have shared the basketball well.
16 assists on 25 made field goals, just to back up what you're saying.
Impressive. And you talk about the field goals, 25 of them in 41 attempts. That's still up over 60% from the floor in this one, and that's midway point of the fourth.
Amazingly efficient. That means you're executing your offense, and again, like we talked about, sharing the ball, spreading the wealth. 4 in double figures so far.
Others that can certainly work their way there. Now that's a 5th team foul, the one that was just whistled on Hall, and it means Virginia Tech heads to the line. Actually, check that. That was called on Pitts, not on Hall, as she was also there. And now you're looking at 3 individuals for SMU with 4. You got Pitts, Peterson, and Jones all in that scenario, Coach.
And came in with 9 eligible players, have played 8. They've had the injuries that we talked about in the open, 3 players out for the year.
Of course, Jones remains on the bench, but the combo of Peterson and Pitts will continue on.
Peterson, Jones, and Pitts, partner, are combined 9 for 40. And that's really good defense by Virginia Tech.
Then you add the scenario in that we were just discussing with the way they will be forced to play down the stretch. That's game changing.
Yeah, and Coach Duffy talked about the fact that she wasn't happy with the offensive rebound situation. This half, they've only allowed 2 offensive rebounds.
Points of emphasis, to say the least. Here's another look at this hustle play. Fans inside Cassel appreciated it as Nelson went for broke.
Yeah, they would determine whether she had possession, which she did, which resets the shot clock to 30.
And to Robertson, but out of her hands and onto the sideline. It's a turnover.
Nelson won't get credit for that steal, but she caused the turnover. Good communication right here. Here's Nelson denying the ball. Wenzel leaps at it too. Nelson kept her from getting the ball. Then Wenzel contested the pass.
And that's why Decanter is one of the best in the business. Spotted a pom-pom piece that nobody else saw and picked it up. Just
nothing gets by her. Nothing gets by her.
Below that Virginia Tech logo. Here's Ekh.
Nice job. Didn't have an advantage right there. Good hustle getting back by SMU. Good decision to bring it back out by Matilda Ekh.
Time the Hokies' friend right now. 10 on the shot clock. Baker. Iron only, and it is out of bounds underneath.
Good job with the quick reversal. Got Ekh a wide open shot, but.
Well, we're tracking Ekh's numbers today. She's got 21, still leads everybody. 8 of 11 from the field, 5 of 7 from beyond the arc. An impressive,
sounds efficient to me.
Impressive performance. Looked like it was going to be there for Peterson and company, but it's lost out of bounds.
Peterson cannot get it going today. 2 for 12 from the floor. She still continues to rebound at a record rate, 10 already.
But that's a second time in recent moments that you see her having to throttle back just a bit in the way she approaches that.
The 4 fouls, you're exactly right.
Maybe not her game in full down the stretch here, which makes a difference for SMU. She's been something special. Nelson runs into Robertson as she was trying to attack.
Foul called against the Mustangs on number 3.
That's going to be Robertson's second
That
personal.
is her second personal
Free
foul.
throws coming for Nelson,
At the line
where
for
she shoots
Hokies.
nearly 80% on the
Number
season.
3, Mackie Nelson, shooting 2.
Well, we told you a bit ago, Nelson with those 7 assists also has pulled down a board. And runs her point total to 5, nothing but twine.
3 for 3 from the free throw line. You want point guards to be able to shoot the ball well from the free throw line, and both Nelson and Wenzel do that for Virginia Tech. And there I did it.
Well, after she found the bottom on the first, ends up seeing this one carry him off. Jones with the basketball. Hard as we may try. Jones. Robertson from distance again. What is it about the fourth period and Robertson this week?
I don't know, but she can turn it on, and there's a foul 96 feet from the basket, and that'll be the 5th on Jones, I believe.
Number 1, Nya Jones. That is her 5th personal foul.
Distance on this grabs your attention.
A good 6 feet beyond the arc. Again, we talked about it earlier. You've got to take up that space.
She has 22. They've started a bit quiet after that initial bucket in this game, but working her way to 22 points. And it's Wenzel to the line. That was the 5th personal foul on Nya Jones, who is now out of the contest for SMU.
Yeah, Robertson only 8 for 22 overall, but 4 for 6 from distance.
The other 22, the point total that she's put together. We mentioned coming in, she's got more field goal attempts than anybody in the country. Had 408 of them coming into this one. 22 tries and 22 points. That kind of speaks to that.
She's not slowing down.
Has the basketball in her hands now. Fires away again. That is going to be a 5th personal, it would seem, on Pitts, and both Jones and Pitts now gone almost in back-to-back fashion here. Tried to stand in there and see if she could get some type.
Yeah, Pitts has played a good game, but she had no chance. She never got in a legal guarding position right there.
So Jones fouls out with just the 1 basket. Pitts fouls out, having poured in 14 along the way, and it gives Wenzel the latest of her chances at the free throw line, where she's camped out today.
Kayana Cox now in for SMU.
Remember, we told you she was one of the ones had not been available. Once again is. She's a freshman, another of the Texas natives. Played in 7 games, had 6 total points on the year. By the way, Wenzel has now shot 10 free throws. She's connected on 8 of them. Helped Virginia Tech stay out front. That was a nice feed.
Yeah, Peterson has been working hard to get the ball in there, but Rose Michaud is denied most of the time her access to the ball.
Peterson, 6 to her credit. Was that Robertson there? Plenty of contact. It is going to be Robertson's 3rd personal. And now Virginia Tech and their work at the free throw line going to come into focus.
Yeah, Ekh, a great free throw shooter, 31 for 34 on the year coming into the game. Has not shot until right now, but like everything else, she's doing 8 for 11 from the field, 5 for 7 from 3. Now 1 for 1, make it 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
Hokies at 75.1 on the year. And in this one today, they are 17 of 23. And it's getting pretty close to biscuit time all of a sudden.
We got a biscuit warning. We're going past the watch. We're warning right now.
In full effect with just under 3 minutes to play.
And the fans will react to that free biscuit should the Hokies get to that 75-point mark. I like their chances, partner.
Don't think for a moment it's not a known fact inside Cassel what happens at 75. Wenzel, they are chanting, "We want biscuits" in Cassel Coliseum.
They've ended up with 74 a couple times, much to the chagrin of the crowd.
I can understand. So close. Boy, not only the block, but the presence of mind to keep this alive from Nelson. One of her moments of the night. Now she slows things up with 2:09 to play, and the call for biscuits continues.
Working that clock. Who will get the honor?
Wenzel. There will be biscuits.
No.
No, turned aside. They've begun to celebrate as if perhaps the moment had arrived, only to find the whistle went the other way.
The most unpopular call of the night here in Cassel Coliseum.
Yes, it was. Almost as if the game itself were on the line. 153 and ticking
Well, the Hokies
downward.
are going to snap their 2-game losing streak. SMU's continues to 7.
Well, and you got to remember what this team's working for, Coach. This is a group looking for first ever 5-year NCAA tournament run. 03 to 06, 21 to 24, and attempting to build upon that. This is certainly another step in that direction.
SMU says, hold on a second.
Not yet. They want to make more than just the biscuits consequential here with 1:22 to play. And leading everybody to 23. Here's Wenzel. She'll try it again. Her second bid personally for them won't happen. A minute and change remaining. Surely they won't leave them on 74.
It has happened before. There is precedent.
Story because they're straight chanting it in the building. And just ahead of the horn, Mishaw has it rim out. 45 seconds to play. You know, big picture though, Coach, think on that. This is all about that push to the NCAAs again. All about that push to be playing your best basketball when it matters most at the ACC tournament. And it's worth noting as SMU does keep on fighting here, this is worth another glance.
Yep, Peterson that time got the advantage, protected the ball, goes to the free throw line, which is not great. Mishaw's foul. Peterson 56%, just like her counterpart. The Hokies, of course, Charlie Cream, to your point, has the Hokies in the tournament at this point.
Well, and the ACC tournament itself, which becomes critical, has some new wrinkles to it that the fans have to get ready for as well. This is going to be SMU basketball on the far side, and it makes moments like this so key. Mustangs still battling with 21 seconds to play. What we've seen this weekend on the hardwood speaks to it never being over until it is. And here's Peterson inside. She'll go to the line for an and one opportunity. Hold everything with 13.7 to play.
The Mustangs may run out of time, but they are battling to the end. Again, a good play.
You saw what happened in some of the men's activity yesterday. Stranger things down the stretch in what's been a wild weekend of basketball. All of a sudden with the made and one, it is a 5-point basketball game with timeout called by Virginia Tech.
To advance the ball.
13.7 to play.
Advance the ball, get the ball in the front court.
Well,
Hokies will want their best free throw shooters on the floor and preferably throw it into one of those good free throw shooters.
this just went a few moments ago from the fans chanting for biscuits to everybody sitting up on the edge of their seat and taking a deep breath. And if you wondered about that fight we discussed related to SMU, you just saw it. This is a team trying to snap a skid of 6 games, pick up a key conference victory, and for the Hokies, you said it, 3 in a row, that's something. It's been a while. You got to go all the way back to 21, and they're right on the verge.
Yeah, and they've done a really nice job of bouncing back after some tough losses and couldn't do that the other night. Of course, they lost to NC State on the road and then came home, and that next game being Notre Dame really hurts your chances of breaking that streak. But Hokies trying to get it done here this afternoon, still in pretty good position.
Yeah, this is somewhat mindful of what the men experienced in the Commonwealth Clash yesterday over in Charlottesville, right? Had created some separation, but then had to make it stick down the stretch, and that's what the Hokies are now going to have to do from the charity stripe. Now, Wenzel's been good from there, 8 of 10 from the free throw line today.
Checking in number 35.
Coach Mike
Jessica
Young's
Peterson.
team on the men's side for Virginia Tech with a big win in Charlottesville.
Congratulations on that W in the Commonwealth Clash, in which they held on by a single point.
Coach Young with his 401st win, and there it is.
How about that?
Biggest cheer of the night.
The celebration for the fact that Virginia Tech is a little closer to the finish line, and everybody's going home with biscuits. Both of them go down for Wenzel, and a deep breath for fans inside Cassel as SMU takes a timeout. You just heard the official announcement.
Yeah, it'll be a full timeout, and SMU will advance the basketball, and they've got to get somehow 7 points. That includes several stops of the clock.
Talked about the new look ACC a couple of different times, Coach, and a couple of things fans should be aware of as we head toward tournament time in a month or so.
Yeah, and well, both men and women, to your point, if you travel multiple time zones, 2 or more time zones, the first time you play, you lose. 2 and 16, men and women, only 2 wins all season when you travel 2 or more time zones and play that first game.
Yeah, very difficult, and it was one until Carolina picked up a win in the not-too-distant past. It had just been the Stanford win on the men's and the women's side. Makes it difficult what's happening here, all the more impressive the way SMU has continued to battle. But, you talk about the tournament. 3 teams not going to work their way in there this time.
Yeah, and that's new.
Number of teams going to have to play on the first day.
6 teams.
Makes this type of conversation all the more important, Coach.
Yeah, you see Charlie Cream with Virginia Tech. This would be helpful. Stanford right there, next 4 out. You see double digits possibly in the NCAA tournament. Speaks to the strength of this league.
Well, a Sunday like this is one to remember when you consider you're one step closer to solidifying your spot with a W on a day like this. Seconds remaining. Robertson, no whistle. It's cleaned up underneath and put back for a Kylie Marshall bucket. The Mansfield, Texas native scores. And with 2.4 to play, the separation would seem to be enough for Virginia Tech, but the foul is there, and it'll be back to the line.
Yep, just not enough time left for anything, and Virginia Tech will snap that 2-game skid.
Well, the former Manhattan grad, she was the Defensive Player of the Year for the Jaspers, helped lead them to the NCAA tournament before her coaching career. Now the 4th-year head coach of the Mustangs, Toyelle Wilson. You look inside Virginia Tech's huddle. How important this W going to be if Virginia Tech is able to salt it away here for the Hokies?
Really important, and the schedule down the stretch. Coaches can't look ahead, but we can.
Sure.
And with 8 games left, they play 6 teams ranked below them in the standings, and then 2 ranked teams going down the stretch for Virginia Tech. So the schedule is fairly favorable for Virginia Tech to try to improve their position going into the tournament. It looks like they're finally, pretty solidly not playing on that first day, which is always helpful.
Yeah, when you want to be playing your best basketball, this team looking to trend in the right direction. Today, a good start for that. Wenzel connects on her 11th free throw of the contest. 77th point for the Hokies. She makes both of them. 12 of 14 personally from the charity stripe. And the Hokies have shot 21 of 27 from the free throw line today. That's how you salt one away.
Yeah, that is certainly big. And another thing they did solidly, continue to shoot the ball well from the field too, at plus 55%. You might ask why. Down 7 points with 3.7 left. Why are we calling a timeout? SMU, this is still game-type situations, late-game situations, clock situations where the game might still be in doubt, and they get to do it under game-type conditions rather than just practice it. Both coaches coaching to the end of this game.
And takes it because you talked about what is ahead for Virginia Tech. This is an SMU team that quick turnaround with the Jackets coming up next, and on down the line it goes in the final full month of the season.
Now Robertson on the foul. They ran the lob for Robertson, but she ended up trying to slap at the ball, ended up fouling on the play. And Virginia Tech will go back to that free throw line you were just talking about, where they've been 21 of 27.
That is her 4th personal foul.
Yeah, shooting right at Well, 77.8 to be specific. This is just a quick check of the game clock to make sure everything is in order. Sits at .8 currently. As you would think these would be the last from the free throw line tonight for the Hokies. Well, you see a first on this Sunday, first ever meeting in this building between these two teams, just their third meeting all time. And for Virginia Tech, a response after one of the toughest stretches on the Hokies schedule this year. They bounce back nicely. Michal won't get the first one to go. But that's a 22nd made free throw for the Hokies in this one.
Michal 13 points, 8 rebounds. Solid day.
It's enough to put the finishing touches on what will be a 79